What is going on, guys? This is Mike with Chit Chat Gaming, and we are almost through 2019. We are 6 months in with 6 months to go here. Christmas is right around the corner. That's hard to believe. And with that being said here, guys, today I want to talk to you a little bit about why I think it's important and why it's great to have a Nintendo 3DS here still in your collection, and it's still okay and safe to purchase a 2DS, a 3DS, whatever it may be here in 2019. I'm gonna go over some different things that I believe that make this console so great here and why I still think it makes it relevant in 2019. With that being said though, this past year, the presence of the Nintendo 3DS wasn't there at E3. During the Nintendo Direct, there was no mention of the 3DS whatsoever, which I understand they want to focus on Switch. No new 3DS games as well too. I think the last ones I saw might have been the new Phoenix Wright game, Detective Pikachu, and I think like Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, I believe it was. Those are like kind of the last ones I saw here recently. But with that being said though, guys, like I mentioned, I wanted to go over why I think it's important to have and great to have one of these in your library, even if you're looking to pick it up here today. Now, with that being said, I want to go over some points here. Number one, of course, is the games, because without the games, this thing is pretty much useless. So there is a whole slew of Nintendo 3DS games out there. I mean, there's so many great games. I don't want to bring up my whole collection, obviously, so I just brought up one game just to kind of show off. One I've been playing here recently, this is Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. Great game. Of course, you have A Link Between Worlds, Ocarina of Time 3D. You have all the Pokemon games, Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon. Like I said, Detective Pikachu. I mean, there is so, Super Mario 3D Land. So many. I could sit here all day and naming them all off. Animal Crossing New Leaf, etc., etc. So many great games in the Nintendo 3DS library that you can play on here at an affordable price as well too. Right now, these are marked down to 20 bucks. The select titles with the red border around it are marked down to 20 bucks, including Super Mario Maker as well too. So many great games marked down to like 20 bucks that you can get right now in a select library as well too. And not to mention the regular games usually run for, I don't know, about 30 bucks or so right now. So it's definitely a great time to pick up games for Nintendo Switch. But with that being said though, not only do you have the 3DS library, but you can go back and get the DS library as well too, which there's a ton of great games that you can find in like pawn shops or whatnot, thrift stores, and like video game stores as well too, used video game stores, and you can still get to this day as well too. So with that being said, like I mentioned, games, there's so many games for the 3DS. Now the next point I want to get into is Nintendo eShop. Yes, there's a Nintendo eShop in the actual Switch as well too, but the one here in the 3DS is just like full of great games, indie games, and virtual console. Yes, they have NES games and Nintendo Switch, but in the eShop here on Nintendo 3DS, we have Super Nintendo, we have Game Boy, we have Game Boy Color, we have Game Gear, NES as well too. So many great games in the virtual console. I mean, look right here. I'm actually playing recently here. I was playing Pokemon Crystal here on the game, or for the Game Boy Color as well too. I do have the original version, but I wanted to play it on my 3DS as well too with the backlight and everything. So again, just a prime example of what great games they have on the 3DS and the Nintendo eShop as well too. Now, next point I want to get across here is the variants. There are so many great variants of Nintendo 3DS, of Nintendo 2DS as well too. I mean, going all the way back to the original 3DS, going all the way back to the original, 3DS XLs as well too. They have 2DS XLs. They have the original 2DS, which is like the box style shape as well too, like for more kids and such as well. It does not fold up or anything. But also, this here is my favorite one of all time. This is the new Nintendo 3DS. This is not the XL or anything. This is the one that was first released in Japan and ended up coming here to the States. It has the interchangeable cover plates as well too. It has the Famicom buttons over here. It's about the same size as the original ones to an extent here, but it does have a much larger screen as well too than what the original one has. This one here is just perfect for me. So there's so many variants though, Pikachu ones, there's so many great variants. There's some Zelda ones out there as well too, but so many great variants of Nintendo 3DS XL. new Nintendo 3DS, new Nintendo 2DS. There's some great looking ones here that are like purple and silver. Came out most recently. The orange and the white ones as well too. There's just so many great ones as well that you can pick up still to this day. Yes, ones like these are going to be more expensive on eBay and on Amazon. I believe these on Amazon, on eBay, run for anywhere from 200 to 300, 400 bucks or so, because they're more rare, but you can still go out and get a new 2DS XL at a decent price. And that's going to bring me to my next point, which is pricing. Like I said, these are a little more expensive, but you can go out right now and get a new 2DS XL for about 150 bucks. That's preloaded with Mario Kart 7 as well too. And another great thing is, if you're on the market for a 2DS or any kind of 3DS that is, and you're okay with not having the 2DS and everything, and you don't care if it's going to fold up, the more square, traditional looking 2DSs, you can get those for about 80 bucks, I believe it is, that come preloaded with the game as well too. So very, very affordable. I believe you can get like Super Mario Maker, you can get Mario Kart 7, Super Mario Land 2, and then of course there's a Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D as well. So you can get an original 2DS preloaded with the game at about 80 bucks as well too. And like I mentioned, with the 2DS XL, about 150 bucks or so with Mario Kart 7 preloaded. So affordable compared to the Switch as well too. That's my other point here. Now my next point is one that's very, very important to me, and that's going to be the fact of being compact here. Now for me, it's a big deal because I like to take my gaming on the go. Yes, the Switch is a bad boy. It's a beast here. It's got a much larger screen. It's got a nicer screen, 720 resolution as well too. It's great to play. I'm not complaining at all. I love my Switch on the go. I love how it looks, but it's hard to kind of carry it around with me. And yes, I can put it in a, in an actual case and everything and take it with me. It's not a big deal. But one good thing about this bad boy right here is that yes, it just folds right on up here. I can take it, I can slip it right in my pocket with ease. You wouldn't even know I have a console on me if you saw me, unless you saw like a bullet in my pocket or something. But other than that though, for the most part, in a coat or in a bag or something like that, very, very easy just to take this thing around, put it in sleep mode, and take it with you on the go. So again, I love my Switch, but for me, just the compact of the Nintendo 3DS here, especially the smaller version, just fits my pocket. And even the 2DS XL, it's a little more skinnier than this, it's a little bit larger, but it fits in the pocket just perfectly. So right there you have it, guys. That is, I want to take some time today to kind of talk about that, because I've been playing the 3DS once again quite a bit here. So for me, let's go over those again here. Obviously there's some great games on Nintendo Switch. Switch has not been around for as long as the 3DS has been, but there is a slew of great games on the 3DS, including being able to go back and play DS games as well too. And not to mention the fact that the eShop on the 3DS includes a bunch of great indie games, as well as a huge list of virtual console games, going from the NES, Game Boy Color, Game Boy, Game Gear, SNES, you name it, other than like Nintendo 64 and such and everything. It's on here right now. Currently all we have on the Switch is going to be NES, which is part of the paid subscription. So there's not even a real true virtual console yet on the Switch. Another thing too, yes, there is some variants of Nintendo Switch out there as well too. There's a Diablo one, of course there's a Super Smash Bros. One, etc. But here with the Nintendo 3DS, you have a bunch of different ones that you can get, of course, here. If you want to go back and get older ones, or even get newer ones till to this day, there's a bunch of variants out there. Next thing, of course, is going to be pricing here. You're looking at $299 on up with the different variants as well too. Whereas you're looking at going all the way down to even 80 bucks with the 2DS with a game preloaded, all the way up to about 150 bucks or so for the new 2DS XL with Mario Kart 7 preloaded on as well too. So you don't get any games preloaded on this unless you're going to pay a little bit more, $349, sometimes $399, whereas 150 bucks will get you a game on a 3DS or a 2DS XL, like I said, for a great price. Now, the last thing I want to talk about here, let's recap it again, is compact here. With this here, as far as being able to take this thing on the go, I can't really slip this in my pocket. I can definitely put it in a case or put it in a bag, but with this here, I can fold it up and put it in my pocket. You would never know I have a console on me at all. So that's another reason why I think the size and everything of the 3DS is just perfect here. Now, again, I'm not telling you not to buy a Switch. I'm just saying that if you already own a Switch, get a 3DS and get a 2DS at a great price here. I'm just giving you the reasons why I think that it's important and great to be able to get a 2DS or 3DS here in 2019. Not to mention the fact that the games are going down in price here. Like I said, most select games right now, or a lot of the select games are 20 bucks. You can get other games at a decent price as well too. So games is what I can say for the 3DS. Not to mention the fact that it's just a lovely looking console. You can even get themes and such, something you can't get on Nintendo Switch right now. You can go to the theme shop. You can go to My Nintendo Rewards as well too. You can get nice looking little themes and such too for your 2DS or your 3DS. So guys, let me know down below what you guys think. Do you still love your 3DS, your 2DS? Would you recommend getting one here now? Give me your thoughts on what you think of the library, the size, the pricing, etc. All in all, let me know what you guys think. Is it important? Is it great to have a 2DS or a 3DS in your collection right now here in 2019? So guys, make sure you sound off, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it, all that fun stuff guys. And as always here, this has been Mike with Chit Chat Gaming saying happy gaming.